we enter Q4, it's the perfect time to start thinking about your end of year or maybe your kickoff for 2025 planning retreat. We know this is something that a lot of you are thinking through, are putting in the works right now. And so I wanted to share our top 3 ways to make your planning retreats or your team building retreats more effective. The first tip is get yourself out of the office, really out of the office. Do you have to go to Aspen or the Bahamas and spend thousands of dollars lodging your entire team for a week? You don't. If you can, lovely. That's fantastic. I'm sure your team appreciates and enjoys that. But even if all you can do is to borrow a conference room from another business owner or another executive that you know, and to put yourselves and your team in a new environment, it's critically important that you do that. When we're in retreat planning, when we're thinking strategically, when we're doing team building, we really need to access a different part of our brain. And it's so much more difficult to do that when we're in our everyday setting, when we're being interrupted by the same people, when we have access to our email and our computer and all the things on our to-do list right down the hall. It's so challenging to drop into that retreat space and stay there fully. So even if you can only get away just to another floor of the same building, even if you can only get away for half a day, do yourself a favor and get really out of the office for that period of time. The second thing is to take your pre-work really seriously. Just like there's a mindset that's aided by being out of the office, there are certain things that you want to think about and approach differently when you are in planning or retreat mode. And there are also certain things that you want to be prepared to talk about when you're in that place. And that's pre-work. Here's the documents we want you to review. Here are the things we want you to think through ahead of time. To maximize the time in retreat, you really need to take that pre-work seriously. And what I mean by that is you need to plan it out and you need to encourage your team to really invest the time to do it well. If you're working with an outside consultant or facilitator to support you in your retreat, then they should be doing that work for you. But you will still have to reiterate to your team how important this is in order to maximize that valuable time that you are spending away from the office in a different environment. And then the final tip is to build in automatic follow-up. Most of us have had that experience where we come out of a retreat and we're so excited about the new things that we're going to work on, and we're energized by that sense of alignment that we feel. And we go back to that never-ending to-do list and that email box that's always full. And we really struggle to maintain that sense of momentum, to keep our eye on the prize when it comes to those new outcomes and goals that we want to achieve. What works best is if we go into the retreat, or at least come out of the retreat, with accountability and follow-up measures in place. Again, if you're working with an outside consultant or facilitator, this is something they should be helping you to do. But just know, even if you're doing a retreat that you're facilitating internally and managing internally, you want to build in those accountability and follow-up measures on the front end. So get yourself really out of the office, take that pre-work seriously, and build accountability and follow-up in on the front end if you want to have a really meaningful retreat at the end of this year or as we go into 2025.